warehouse. You don't have employees. You don't have to do branding. You don't have to do the marketing. And you know that I talked about my $1 million business that I currently own online, where I have all of those headaches, right? And so nobody knows that about me, but I'm also a marketer online, and I have e-commerce stores. But this business, all I have to do is invest my time in people that want to win. That's it, right? And so that's what Tyler's doing, and that's what his team is doing. And I always say it's like the Matrix, right? It's like the blue pill or the red pill.
So true.
And if you take the blue one, be prepared to go as far as you want to go. If you take the red one, you already know what that one looks like. It's where you're at today. Okay? If today's great for you and you don't want anything more, then hey, kudos to you. But if you want to go down the other road and see how far and how big and how great this life can be, I emphasize, take the blue pill. Take the whole bottle. You know what I mean? And I think we might. I don't think we have a blue pill yet in our company yet, but if we get one, we should definitely endorse it with.
I think it's coming.
But
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I think it's coming.
Yeah. We'll talk about
good.
that one next time. Yeah. Is that very nice?
I love that. Dirk, one more thing. If you could touch on, because you talked about your e-commerce, and I know, you know, people. I want to speak to people that understand. Okay, there are startup costs. Startup costs are substantial when you're building a brick and mortar. Even an e-commerce business, you're still spending a lot of money because you're buying ads. You have to advertise. Advertisement kills you. Your overhead killed you, right? Or kills you, or one of the things.
Yeah, well, I mean, so here's what and again, you could relate this because you're a small business owner. I just happen to own one online. So I'll just to tell you guys, one product SKU that I have to make sure I have stocked, one is 50 grand. And I have 12 product SKUs right now. So I have almost $1 million, just under $1 million worth of inventory of outlay of my cash. Right. And on top of that, now let's say somebody now the only way that I win is I buy things in bulk. Right. So I have a nutrition company that I'm actually in the midst of selling, but I've had it for a couple of years. It's done well over 7 figures each year, but I'm having to spend millions to make hundreds of thousands. I'm sorry. I'm having to spend and risk about a floating $900,000 float, as we call it. That means that's hard cost inside of my inventory. And then I'm also the marketer for it. So I also create the creative, I drive traffic. So at any one time, any of that stuff goes bad, or someone decides that they don't want to take it, or I had to flip money for 6 months before I could have just the money in the company working. Right. And then I could start pulling a small dividend. So I want, people to understand that even when you think like these online businesses are so easy, unless you're selling an information product, I can't even begin to tell you the headaches of customer service, of shipping issues. Oh, it wasn't on my porch. Okay. Well, then guess what? I got to eat it and I got to send it again. Right. Even though so there's just so much risk here. And so I saw Rick and you guys, Tyler, crushing it, by the way, and you crushed it before that was even like fully available to you. Yeah, I know. And you're crushing it. So you're poised. You and your network are poised. You know what's about to happen for you guys up there. It's about to be crazy for you. But kudos to you for sticking with it. So you're risking your, at your gym right now because you got a lot on the line, and so do I. So my point is, for a $1,500 investment, you come in here, you leverage the knowledge of others, you work with your team, you get into the business school, and you just rinse and repeat. Like, what we're doing is working. People are making 6 and 7 figures here by just doing this. Like, is this hard? This isn't hard. Share your experience. Everyone's got a story. Your story was awesome, and we heard a lot of great stories there. Like, normal stories of people like, hey, this is what I was doing before. Like one of our Melissa Duty, who's was a school teacher, and now she's making 10 to 15,000 a week, and applying the principles of this business and working hard with her team. And like a year and a half, she's crushing it. I mean, what? I mean, come on, guys, that's life-changing money, and all it's doing is getting bigger and more aggressive and growing. Like it's hitting critical mass for these people because they've already developed a team that's doing what they're doing, and they're doing what they're doing, and the message isn't being diluted. It's absolutely perfect brownies every time we make it.
Dirk, everything you've touched, actually, you've answered the 6 questions I wanted to ask, because I had you answered them all.
Wow.
That's beautiful, but it's the truth. It's people don't understand when they're not educated, and we always tell people to be open-minded, and that's a posture you can go about with. Like, dude, can you just be open-minded for 5 seconds? Just let me show you let me show you what I've got. If it has a solution to your problem, run with it. Don't worry about whatever anybody else says. Nobody cares. You're still going to be stuck in the same spot in 5 years if you don't change. You know what I mean? I like to talk about that. And
yeah, open-mindedness, the lack of it will cost you everything. You know, and the second you think you know everything in this life, or even in anything that you do, the second that you have that what do they say? Pride always comes before the fall. And if you don't stay open and open-minded about everything in life, not just business, but like relationships, you have to force yourself, because the older we get, the more cynical we become. And we've been up and down the road a few times, and so we feel like we know a whole bunch. And guess what? You do. But if you can remember back to when you were 18, when you thought the world was your oyster and you could do anything you wanted to do, and nobody could tell you, know what I'm saying? So just try to remember what it was like to dream again. And that people talk about like that stuff a lot here, like, oh, dreaming and dream. Yeah, well, listen, I hope that you're dreaming no matter what you're doing. And if you're not dreaming no matter what you're doing, then you got to rediscover that thing for yourself first.
Yeah.
But there was something else I wanted to say before we jump off, but yeah, so the open-mindedness of this, I think you were talking about, right? Is that what you were saying?
So that was something that, I, even myself, even being in the industry, I wasn't open-minded. That's what I had to really break through, because I wasn't open to the mentorship, and I wasn't open up to the personal development, the coaching. I thought I could do it on my own. Pride, right? Pride and ego. So that was a big issue for me. So that's why I'm trying to speak that to people. It's like, just drop it. Like, because the people that are pushing away from this they think they're happy, they're not happy. I think. Like, that's me personally. But they just don't think there's a better way.
Mm-hmm. You're right about that. And so a lot of times what has to happen is what's going to happen in your case, it's already happening, is you have to achieve that level of success where people, sometimes you have to forge the way, right? And it means that you're going to move past all the people who say no, say it doesn't work, and you've already built an incredible business, by the way. Congratulations. And then guess what? And then they're going to be like, wow, remember, we want to make the people who say, and I hate to say this in a bad way because I don't mean it, but it's fuel for us that, like, when people tell me that I can't do something or it's not going to work, I mean, I love that. I'm like, please tell me that, because I just throw coal in the furnace, and I'm like, and that's what I'll say to everyone here is, like, when I left a small town in Ohio to move out to Hollywood to be an actor, people are like, you can't do that. Well, I said, you know what? Watch me. Watch me. And here with this, and just like Rick made me pay. When I saw over $1 million worth of income, I was like, okay, there's a price to pay attention. And he punished me by just moving past me, never even bringing it up to me, and just building the business without me. And guess what? I came in my own time when I was ready, and here and that's it. It's timing for people too, But I could have had a whole bunch better stuff if I would have jumped in earlier than I did later. That much I'll say. You know what I mean? So timing should be sooner than later, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Dirk, the timing's still now. I like Drake too.
I like Drake,
but I have a Drake on my team, actually.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
like timing and talking about timing, the Kiyosaki talks about that treasure your friend, and the timing in a network marketing company is the first 1 to 3 years, and we are still in that. So seeing all the income that's being made right now and seeing the leaders grow in pre-momentum, it's pretty it's insane. Actually, it's insane.
Yeah, so we're paying, this over 100 million debt free. We're paying well over $1 million a week in commissions, and you're right. We happen to know some people that have, the incomes are crazy here, and they can be. But yeah, more importantly, if we always say it's not a get rich quick scheme, because it's not. You got to come in and work. I mean, who's going to hand you $1 million for maybe scratching off a lotto ticket or something? But good luck with that one, right? But timing is very, very key, like you said, Ty. And we're in year two and a quarter. And, the opportunity, like, you're not even fully launched in Canada. I mean, what does that tell you? That we're already this big, and we're, and there's not, I'm surprised there's not a ton of buzz on us, which is exciting for me, because I've been in companies that went into momentum. You remember what Monavie looked like when everybody knew what it was. So the fact that people are crushing it like they are here with, like, minimal notoriety of Viseo yet is so exciting to me. That's why I've got, like, I don't have 2 shovels. I have 6 shovels right now. I'm digging everywhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, quick, get in, quick,
let's go.
Quick, get in, quick, get my boat, let's go. And so the timing is important. So, if you're in Ty's network, and by the way, it should be noted that Ty and I are actually cross-lined to each other. And nothing that, and I don't want to say, this is how cool this industry is. Like, Ty's he'll probably do a live for me at some point, and I'm doing one for him. But it doesn't even directly benefit either one of us. But we're here helping each other because we're like-minded, and we're here to help each other win. That's what this whole team's about. So I don't want everyone to think you're like, oh, he's just doing it because, like, we actually have no benefit whatsoever to do this together other than kinship, knowing where he's at, a fellow entrepreneur, a fellow business owner.